Hello and welcome to NDTV 24/7. I'm Priyanshi Sharma. We'll get you a roundup of the top news stories in this show. Our lead story, India's economy grew by 13% in the last quarter. That was from April to June. It's the highest quarterly growth that we've seen in a year at 13.5%. But the growth rate has sharply missed the Reserve Bank's estimate of 16.2%. This is the second highest quarterly GDP growth that India has ever seen. The highest growth recorded was in Q1 last year at 20%. Though the growth is on a low base of a pandemic-affected year, but the good news is that the quarterly GDP figure has finally surpassed pre-pandemic levels, even though by just 3.4%. Now, what's behind this GDP growth? Private consumption is up by 40% compared to the same quarter last year. The gross fixed capital formation is up by 31%. The sectors in focus, gross value added of agriculture sector doubled to 4.5% from 2.2% last year. But the manufacturing sector growth is disappointing and it slowed to 4.8% from 49% last year. On the overall picture, India is certainly recovering. We've performed better than China as well for 4 out of the last 5 quarters, but all's not well. The growth of 8 core industries has slowed down to a 6-month low at 4.5% in July. Moving now to Bihar, where the sugarcane industries minister Kartik Kumar has resigned a day after his portfolio was changed from law to sugarcane. This after the BJP has been demanding his removal from the cabinet, alleging involvement in a 2014 kidnapping case. This can be seen as the first setback to the newly formed RJD-JDU government in Bihar. And Telangana Chief Minister KCR and Bihar Chief Minister Nitish Kumar met in Patna. The duo says they are working out a main front, not just a third front, to take on the BJP in 2024. KCR went to Patna to meet Nitish and his deputy RJD leader Tejasvi Yadav, where KCR said that India needs a BJP Mukt Bharat. The BJP, on the other hand, challenges the duo to contest the party in Gujarat and Himachal.
He is talking about main front. Why are you talking?
जितने भी विपक्षी दल है देश में सारे एकजुट होकर ताकत जुटाकर शक्ति जुटाकर बीजेपी मुक्त भारत का नारा देना चाहिए और बीजेपी मुक्त भारत को हासिल करना चाहिए, तभी देश फिर से खड़ा हो सकता है, आगे बढ़ सकता है।
और अगर केसीआर और नीतीश जी में हिम्मत है तो हिमाचल का चुनाव है, गुजरात का चुनाव है, लड़े, दिखा दें अपनी ताकत वहां पर, तो मालूम पड़ जाएगा कि गुजरात और बाकी में क्या स्थिति है। नीतीश जी, आप किसी से भी हाथ मिला लीजिए, 2024 में आप न मुख्यमंत्री रहेंगे और प्रधानमंत्री बनना तो दूर की बात है।
Meeting between KCR and Nitish is concerned, it is very obvious that again an attempt is being made to forge an opposition alliance. Now, whether this is a third front or what front this is, whether it has everyone on board, a Mamata Banerjee on board, a Congress on board, most importantly, is something which is not known. But many such attempts have been made in the past, and the sticking point almost always then becomes the availability of too many prime ministerial probables. And that could very much be the case here also. Now, as far as the Telangana Chief Minister being in Patna is concerned, he said a couple of important things. He said we need a BJP Mukt India. We are working on a main front. Why third front? He then basically is talking about building a national profile, for this new formation. But do remember, this has been an exercise which KCR himself has embarked upon in the past also. See, he has national ambitions. And Telangana is expected to go to polls next year. In a situation like this, perhaps KCR wants to position himself as that national leader, and thus an attempt is being made. The problem is that Mamata is also making that attempt. Nitish Kumar also, in the past we have known that there is a lot of chatter and conversation around him being a possible prime ministerial face. Now, we do know that there is a renewed attempt by KCR to bring in all the opposition faces together. Telangana elections are taking place next year, and there is considerable amount of pressure that KCR feels from the BJP, which this time around has thrown everything that they have into the Telangana election. So could this be his attempt, after winning twice in Telangana, to project himself as this big national leader?
And now let's take a rain check from north to south. From Bengaluru to Banaras, cities are underwater after heavy rain. Bengaluru's high-tech corridor is still waterlogged. Meanwhile, in Varanasi, cremations are being held on rooftops after heavy waterlogging. Bengaluru touches a 132-year-old rain record. Here's a report.
The IT corridor in Karnataka's Bengaluru, famous as the Silicon Valley of India, now struggling with basic infrastructure. What were meant to be perfectly tarred roads look instead like waterways.
Outer ring road, I think this southeast side of the ring road is notorious for being low-lying, filled with the highest taxpayers in the country.
Local leaders and all people should take care, they should come and visit at least. They should not be sitting in their home, and so some people are saying they should not be doing like that.
They're witnessing, overflowing, especially of stormwater drains, lakes breaching, and then overflowing especially to the roads. Several of the traffic volunteers trying to help people wade through this knee-deep water.
Another heart-rending scene in the high-tech city. The body of 86-year-old Srinivasa Rama Rao had to be carried on a makeshift stretcher as family members waded through above knee-deep water. Several parts of Bengaluru have been flooded after Monday night's heavy rains. Bengaluru received over 16 centimeters of rain in a single day, a 132-year-old record, according to the Met Department. A yellow alert has been issued till September 1st.
This is the condition over the last 2 days. Where exactly are the officials? Now that is the question tax-paying citizens of Bengaluru ask. In Bengaluru, Shrija for NDTV.
A red carpet over floodwaters for UP Chief Minister Adityanath as he inspected flood-affected areas in Prime Minister Modi's Lok Sabha seat, Varanasi. While rainfall in Varanasi has been 22% deficient this week and 11% overall this monsoon, mirroring the rain deficiency across UP, rains upstream have caused the Ganga to overflow, submerging parts of Varanasi, mostly its low-lying areas, including the famous ghats. The flood has forced the shifting of cremations at the famous burning ghats, Harish Chandra and Manikarnika, to terraces.
संकट के समय में पूरी सरकार और प्रशासन आपके साथ खड़ी है। ये आश्वस्त करने के लिए आज मैं आपके बीच में यहाँ पर स्वयं उपस्थित हुआ हूँ।
The water level of the Ganga, however, is decreasing now in Varanasi. So far, 32,000 people in 20 city areas and 136 villages in the district have been affected by the floods. A little over 4,000 people have been shifted to relief camps. Across UP, 2 lakh people are affected by floods in 22 districts. With Ajay Singh in Varanasi, this is Alok Pandey, NDTV.
And let's now go to Assam, where the third madarsa has been demolished. Though unsafe and hazardous conditions at the madarsa have been officially cited as the reasons behind this demolition, the facility's link with terror outfits is believed to be the real reason. One of the teachers at the facility was arrested last week over his alleged links with the Al-Qaeda. NDTV's Ratnadeep Chaudhary reports. And the charge sheet on the Enforcement Directorate case against Bollywood actor Jacqueline Fernandez is out. It claims that Jacqueline Fernandez was aware of conman Sukesh Chandrasekhar's criminal history and she cooked up a false story to wriggle out of the investigations in a multi-crore money laundering case. Jacqueline Fernandez's claim that she never knew of Sukesh Chandrasekhar's case is false. That's what the Enforcement Directorate says in the chart sheet that has been accessed by NDTV. Suspended Jharkhand BJP leader Seema Patra, arrested for torturing her domestic help at her home, allegedly sent her son to hospital for exposing her. This after the son exposed the mother's videos of abusing the house help, even smashing and starving her. Her son, disturbed by the torture, had reportedly shared the videos with his friend. She claims that this is all a conspiracy against her.
राजनीति से प्रेरित आरोप है मेरे को जो आरोप आपको फंसाया गया मैडम आप फंसाया गया.
My colleague Saurabh Gupta has spoken to the complainant in the Seema Patra case. He details how Ayushman, her son, got in touch with him despite pressure from Seema Patra.
Ayushman is a friend of mine from my college days, from 2002. We were in the 18th semester in mechanical engineering department. So I was a friend from 2002. He called me and he was like, his voice, his pitch was very, very high, and he was telling me, Baski, please save that girl. So I asked, what happened? In the meanwhile, his mother, she also called me. So I put his phone on the hold, and then I talked with her mother, Seema Patra. Then she said Ayushman is not in a good mental state and he's like acting violent and all. Seema Patra was assaulting her in worst terrible way. I was outside the house, but not inside. I was outside.
And what did you see when they brought her out?
Well, like I couldn't see much, but yeah, forces when they did talk for 1.5 hours, something like that. And then Sunita was rescued. And I was not able to see Sunita get rescued, but since I was a bit far, I went the RIMS where she got admitted. So I went there, I met her. I was like very emotional when she told me many things. You have seen the video. It's like very touching. I couldn't stop my tears. I asked, "Do you know me? I'm Baski, Patra's friend." And she said, "Thank you." And the way she told me thank you was like, I was in my tears. Yes, I was touched. I think that she was she knew that someday his own son will get into this, and her political image will be tarnished or something like that.
And the new UK Prime Minister will be announced on September 5th. With just a few days to go, let's look at the odds. Indian origin Rishi Sonak falls behind in the PM race. Sunak is now below 5% odds in the Prime Minister's race. Let's look at the ups and downs in his journey. Well, he was initially at 35% when Johnson's team was rumoured to have leaked Sunak's wife's zero tax status and his green card. Then Rishi Sonak rose to 32% when Rishi Sonak and others resigned and Johnson also quit. Rishi was chosen by the MPs in the top 2 versus Liz Truss. Votes with all party members, Rishi has fallen down now, and these are average of the odds from oddschecker.com.
It's the final countdown. With just days to go before the polls close on Friday in the race to replace Boris Johnson.
The stakes are really high. I'm passionate at what I believe in, and I want to try and convince you all that I'm right.
Now is the time to be bold, because if we don't act now, we are headed for very, very difficult times.
The Prime Minister hopefuls are expected to once again lock horns in an attempt to woo members of their party over tax cuts and their competing visions for the UK economy, including on their plans to help households with the cost of living crisis. The battle for number 10 Downing Street has been a 6-week marathon, but in London the major focus is expected to be spelling out plans to deal with the cost of living crisis, especially as a report warns that inflation in the UK could top 22% next year, close to the post-war record set in 1975, if wholesale energy prices remain at current high levels. Parmeshwar Bava for NDTV.